Welcome back to Edge of Indy. Hey, we're talking to some great organizations here today. We got the Dotted Line Divas. We also have Indy Women in Tech with Mayor Greg Ballard. And on top of that, we're talking to that crazy, wacky Paul Poteet yet again here on The Edge.
Your audio and video source featuring Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. This is Edge of Indy. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Let's get today's conversation started.
Good afternoon, Indianapolis. Boy, I just want to go into that Robin Williams yell. Good afternoon, Indianapolis. Nope, not going to work. Hey, if you're new to Edge of Indy, thanks for joining us today on our live Facebook broadcast. If you're a listener to the podcast, thanks for joining us and downloading it. Hey, it's great to be able to showcase great causes and organizations here in Indianapolis and be able to kind of put a spotlight on the movers and shakers and people and organizations that are helping make Indianapolis an awesome place to work and live and visit, actually. So my name's Aaron Sparks. I'm the host of the show, Edge of Indy, and also the CEO of Site Strategics, the sponsor of the organization. And we're a digital marketing firm here in Indianapolis. But yeah, that's not really the focus of what we talk about here. It's really about showcasing what's going on in Indianapolis and really, presenting some of the best things that are happening and making sure that you choose local and choose local often. That's what Edge of Indy is all about. So I want to introduce our guests, and our returning co-host here is Brittany Simpson, digital marketing strategist for Site Strategics. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me again.
No problem. Well, I mean, we were pulling straws, and for some odd reason, you got it again. I don't know.
That's amazing.
It is.
I'm a great straw picker.
Well, we have some guests in the studio today, and that is two guests from Dotted Line Divas. We have Christina Huffins, founder.
Nope.
She said nope with conviction.
Christina
He did it wrong.
Huffines.
Good job.
Thank you. Y'all see that? You see the abuse that I get?
Wow.
Founder of Dotted Line Divas. Now I'm incredibly nervous, but we've got Tenoria Askew, board vice president of Dotted Line Divas. There.
Got it.
You got it right.
Woo!
I'm so sorry, Christina.
That's okay.
Man.
I'm just really excited he messed up your name and not
I
mine.
know. It's usually the other way.
I'm glad this is being documented.
All right, I can see that we're having a good jovial laugh at my expense, but I got a show to do here, so simmer down, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, I know you're fresh off a recent move to the newest location in Union Chapel United Methodist Church on 86th Street.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the organization. What is the Dotted Line Divas?
So Dotted Line Divas is a couponing organization, personal care pantry. So pretty much I go out and I coupon shop for personal care items, hygiene items, and I fill a pantry space up with those items. And then we are open once a month to the host state, and we give those items away.
It's incredible.
Yes. So I'm not just one of those crazy extreme couponers. I actually do it for a cause. I actually give stuff away.
She is more than an organized hoarder.
Yes. Yes, I am.
It's like strategic hoarding. Is
Yes.
really what it is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm into it.
Oh, fantastic. So how long have you been doing this in Indianapolis?
I started about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. We've been a nonprofit 501c3 for about a year and a half. So we've been doing. I've had my pantry open for a year and a half now, almost 2 years. This is our third space. This is our temporary space. This is our permanent space. Sorry.
When did you get into? I'm sure this isn't like your first rodeo at the couponing situation. When did you get into that, and like how did you stumble into it, and how did you decide like this is how I'm gonna utilize it?
So my stepdaughter and my cousin used to coupon back when they used to double coupon, and I had no patience for it. I just stayed home and watched the kids. I went through a divorce about 5 years ago, moved up north, was going to those food pantries, and realized you couldn't get like laundry soap, toothpaste, toilet paper, those kind of items at most food pantries. So I just started couponing. It was just myself and my two kids, and I started building a stockpile, and then it just went from there. I got really obsessed with getting stuff for free.
Now, let's talk about that obsession because I've seen, I mean, there was an entire reality series of TV shows
Yes.
about couponing. And my wife and I stepped into the couponing world and got really, really scared because.
Really?
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
And she dove into it. And all of a sudden, we're walking out with like $300 of stuff for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And some of those reality TV shows, I mean, they were showing huge pantries and the savings. I mean, yeah, you're ordering a what do you call a skid and a half of toothpaste, but you're getting it for like pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
I've been banned from buying shampoo and conditioner.
I bet.
At one point,
By
we
who-
had
by whom?
Me,
I heard.
the
She
vice
said-
president. At one point, I think we did inventory, and we had 1,300 bottles of just shampoo and conditioner. That doesn't include all the other items we have in our pantry. And she's like, "Oh, but I just ordered 300 more." And I'm like, "What?"
It's free. You can't not order more.
See, you can't argue that.
We did put a dent in
Yes.
that with our grand opening this past week.
It's
so-
that to me is beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
My OCD sees that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yes.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
That's
One's
amazing.
not correct there. Oh. Made you look.
It's
I just triggered two people in the studio.
We did.
now I'm twitching. like-
totally right.
If you seen it now, you'd cry because it looks empty now.
Well-
We helped 55 families this last
did.
pantry day. 20
That's
new families.
Oh,
So it was our
fantastic.
biggest
Incredible.
pantry day yet.
So how many families have you helped with this organization?
Oh
wow.
gosh, hundreds. I think.
We're
Just-
into thousands, I think.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
now.
I think just the first year that she really tried to champion making this a more public thing, just at Christmas, she helped 400 families.
Oh my gosh.
And that was like her first year. Really, we were just pushing her to say, do something more. Come on,
Yeah.
you can do it. So, I mean, now that she has all this momentum, the numbers just keep growing and growing and growing.
So you're like Santa when you really stop and think about
Yeah.
it. You're providing people with
Yeah.
absolute necessity items that they
You know-
otherwise would have a hard time. Like, what is
Right.
that like? That has to be very
You
rewarding.
know, before I really started with the pantry, when I just started giving bags away, and I remember one of my traditions are on Christmas Eve, we go into Home Place, which is the neighborhood I live in. It's where our pantry is based out of. I'm very passionate about that area, and a group of us will go pass out 20 to 50 bags to random houses, just put them on our doorsteps on Christmas Eve, and that is just amazing to me. So it kind of started there, and then it went to Easter. We was giving out bags at church, and then Christmas, and now we just help everybody anytime
Do it
because
all
it's
the
not
time.
just Christmas. It's items that at Christmas time people don't think about.
Sure.
They think about toys, they think about
Right.
food, they think about coats, clothes.
socks, and things. Yeah.
Nobody thinks about things that we use every single day.
And even more just beyond Christmas, on a day-to-day basis, one of the things that hit home for me that Christina said was, as someone who would be considered a family in need during a tough time in her life, she was able to learn that you can get assistance for food. She was even able to get assistance with clothing and even furniture items. She could not get hygiene items. So there were times that she couldn't provide basic hygiene needs to her kids. So to think, okay, yeah, you can go to the store and you can get items you need with food stamps, but you can't walk out with toilet paper. Can you imagine
Yeah.
not being able to walk out of
It
Target
just hasn't
with
been
toilet
thought.
paper?
It hasn't been thought through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a superpower.
Yes. It's the only gift I have.
That is not
That is
true.
not true. I've not even known you. And I
I'm
know
not
that's
crafted. I'm not a crafty person. at
Christina
all.
has the gift of compassion. I actually told her and one of her best friends that I had a dream the other night that I was like trying to stop her from taking in 5 children. And I don't know where
That
this
would be
dream
me.
came from, but I had this dream that I was like, Christina, what are you doing? And that's totally something she would do. Absolutely something she would do.
So you're selling yourself short there.
Yeah,
Little
most
bit.
definitely.
Maybe.
Taking
Most
on,
definitely.
I applaud you for taking on 5 kids. I mean, that's just.
Well, you know,
that's
I was
fantastic.
married for 10 years and we had 5 kids. So, you know, big family doesn't. I'm an only child, but I love kids.
You get kind of chafed after a while with these kids, though. I mean, I got 4 myself. I mean,
Yeah.
don't you need a break?
Yeah, that's the best part about taking in other people's kids.
You get to give them back when you're
At
done.
church, you'll never see me empty-handed. I always have somebody's baby in my hands.
Yeah.
Like always.
Yeah.
At the pantry, when families come in, I'm always taking somebody's baby from them.
And that's another really.
But then giving them
And
back.
with permission.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Christina, it's not with permission.
No, sometimes I just take the baby.
But that's
Yoink.
another really cool thing about the pantry is that that what makes us a little unique is that we actually spend time building relationships with these people. So we find out what their additional needs are. And even if we can't meet those needs, we are talking to them about them, getting updates about them, trying to find them other resources that could possibly meet those needs. So these families, when they walk in the door, they know who we are and we know who they are. It's not, they're not just a number coming in to get a bag of stuff and then we don't see them again or we just wait to see them the next month. They're texting her when they're having babies, when they're going on job interviews and stuff like that. They're talking to her.
They're literally texting, "Do not take my baby."
Probably.
Ma'am, I need my baby back.
No, they actually
Ma'am,
just
ma'am.
give them up. It's so awesome. But it's like pantry day. I get the most hugs in a year. I mean,
Yeah.
every one of my families, I love them. I mean, I always say they're my favorites, but I tell every family that they're my favorite because they are.
Secrets out.
I don't have just one favorite. I have several.
One of my favorite things, and I found you all on Twitter, and I see all the current media coverage that you're gaining steam, and I really like that. My favorite thing that you do is not just give away all this product and really help people out. You teach people how to do this.
Yes.
So you're teaching them a skill. What's the saying about you can teach someone how to
Teach a
fish or
fish.
something? But
Yeah.
You can fish for somebody, or you can teach them how to fish. So
That's
you
it.
can fish for
Yes.
somebody and then give them a meal, or you can teach them to fish
That's the
and
one.
feed them for a
Yeah.
lifetime.
So you are feeding them for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me about your how you do that, what your teaching involves, and all of that, because I think it's awesome.
So the second Saturday of each month, I teach the coupon class. I don't just teach them how to coupon. I teach them and give them the basic skills. And then the best part is afterwards, we go on a coupon trip and we go shopping. So it's kind of like above and beyond just telling somebody how to coupon because couponing can be overwhelming. And so I try to teach you the basics so you don't get overwhelmed. And then I take you and we shop and we see how it's
Her
done.
kung fu is very strong.
Yes. Good job, Grasshopper. Totally. Totally.
Do you, and I'm sure it's not just cutting, like the kind with the scissors that you cut out of the newspaper anymore. Do you
Oh,
do like
it's
the
all-
digital coupons
yeah,
and
yeah.
things as well?
Yeah, I'm not too big into digital because I can get more of the paper coupons, and I like to be able to give that paper coupon and watch it come off. Digital coupons is hit and miss. So I like to see.
And that's how they get you.
Sure.
Sure. Well, and a digital coupon only comes off of one item.
Right.
But when I have paper coupons, I buy bundles. So I get 60 papers a week. So I have massive amounts of coupons.
Holy moly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they see you coming and they know you.
Yes.
They
all,
do.
All the
There's
all the
certain
different.
stores that we have good relationships with
Yeah.
now because at the beginning they did not like her.
I was there every
Let's
day.
just be real. Yeah.
No, I get that. So I mean, the superpower that you have here for couponing, right? Have you now? I dare mention the thought. Have you ever thought about combining efforts with other kung fu master couponers, right? And really being able to double and triple the opportunity here to be able to have a concerted effort and stock multiple pantries and be able to work together and even work with those brands that are coupon are providing the coupons.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the grocery stores have their own couponing, but on top of that, you've got the brands that are out there.
Right.
I mean, championing the brands and the brands actually lifting up organizations like yourself
Yeah.
would be a great relationship, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. We're going to write that down because we didn't think of that.
Bam.
Well,
So,
you have a partnership with Kroger, right?
We
Yes.
do have a partnership with Kroger.
Tell me about that, because I saw that and I was like, that is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, Christina has gotten a really good relationship with one of the store managers. And once we were able to prove that we were legit, show our 501c3 papers.
You're not
Sure.
crazy ladies with babies and things. Yes.
Exactly. So they are aware that we're a nonprofit. They know what we're doing. And now she has the ability that instead of having to go fill up carts and have all these crazy people looking at her like she's nuts, she actually just places an order online and can go in and say, I need 300 bottles of shampoo. And
And you can load it up.
they can load it up. And so, yeah, she can do that,
No, man,
however
we'll
she
take you in the
needs.
back of the building.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And they also, it's, it makes the checkout process
Yeah.
easier
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them and for the, for her. And So yeah, but we always welcome couponers who are willing to donate to our cause. I think what makes us so unique is that we are only personal care and hygiene items. And a lot of people coupon food. Christina does not coupon food.
Just because of the perishable nature?
The perishable nature, and there's a lot of other required logistics when you are giving away food. So... And also because she knows that there are food pantries on every corner, so people
she's filling a
can
need.
meet
You're
that
filling a
need.
gap.
Yeah. So we are always looking for couponers, or if someone wants to partner with us and coupon like she does, because she is our sole couponer. And as a board, that's something we always think about. Like, if something happens to Christina, what do we do? Because we don't have another couponer. So we're always looking for people that are willing to coupon.
You're also looking for Spanish-speaking volunteers right now.
Yes.
Right? I saw. Okay. Do you want to tell people out there why and how they can find you?
During Pantry Day, one of our largest clienteles are Spanish-speaking clients. So one of the things that we pride ourselves in is that their pantry experience is like they are shopping. We want them to come in and be able to choose the name brand items. That's one crazy thing that just blows my mind is people get to walk in here and get name brand products. And so when our Spanish-speaking families are coming in, they may have questions. We may need to communicate something to them. We're trying to build those relationships and get to know them and get to know their families, but we can't communicate with them. So if every third Saturday of the month, if we had someone volunteer for a couple of hours to translate, that would be amazing. Amazing. We had a student do it this last Pantry Day, and it was so cool to see her get comfortable with these families, and these families turn around and get comfortable with her.
I'm sure that lights them up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we want to say we value your diversity and what you're bringing to our pantry, and we want to accommodate that.
Love it.
Fantastic. So you have a process in place as well to be able to, where families in need can actually be in touch with you, or nominate other families in need. So what does that process actually entail?
So they can go to our website, dotedlinedivas.com, and basically fill out a form as a family in need. That then comes to us electronically, where we're able to communicate with them ahead of time if we need to, ask any questions, clear anything up based on the information they gave us, and inform them on what they need when they come to the pantry. Every family needs an ID and a utility bill. That's all we require.
Okay.
It's a lot less than what a lot of other pantries require.
Sure.
So we just want them to be set up for success when they walk through the pantry doors. So filling out that form ahead of time, asking any questions, letting us ask any questions. They can email us at info@dotedlinedivas.com as well.
So there on the screen we have dotedlinedivas.com. Make sure that whoever's watching this, and on top of that, I want to pause real quick and make sure that our online audience shares this show, because this is very, very important to be able to get the word out, and we rely on our listeners and our watchers to be able to help move the message out. Is that it's imperative that this type of local connection and local community can get this type of lift from this audience. And the audience we have is certainly wanting to see great organizations like this foster. So aligning with Dotted Line Divas, I mean, are you open to have other couponers, either professional couponers or ones that are just starting out, to be able to help you in this organization?
Yes, I'll take as many as people as want to help. There's always items that we get for free. So, I mean, it's not like it would take a lot if more couponers would pitch in and help us. So, yeah, we'll take as many people as want.
But it's a huge skill. I mean, honestly, I tip my hat to you, because you get into that space and you have a whole recon, and there's a lot that you can do. And if you don't need those 300 bottles of shampoo, right, for the home, if you can actually use your powers for good, all these couponers out here, and be able to bring it over to Dotted Line Divas, what a benefit to the community they can provide.
Most definitely.
Yep. And I think the biggest thing is we're not just in Hamilton County, Marion County. We're open to the whole state, because we are one of a kind. So it doesn't matter if you live on the north side up in Carmel, where we're located. Actually, now we're in kind of Castleton, Nora area.
Yeah.
So we're open to the whole state.
And we've had people from Anderson and from Greenwood and from Brownsburg travel to our pantry. So imagine someone
Because
who
it's beautiful. Like, look, that's,
It is. It is
it's like
gorgeous.
the best place ever.
Yeah. Imagine someone who has a need,
Yep.
that their need is so great that they're willing to probably find transportation to come all the way, an hour, 45-minute drive to get these basic necessities that we take for granted.
Is there any plans in the future of possibly doing the inverse and actually taking it out to people?
We've had a recent experience where we've done a pop-up pantry.
There you go.
So we've gone to a different area. It was a different area of Hamilton County. It was in the Fishers Noblesville area.
Right.
And someone let us come into their church actually and build a pantry for a day. So that brought in a lot of different faces, let us get into a different area. So we would totally be willing to do pop-up pantries. Someone provides the location. They were gracious enough to not only provide a donation, but also the volunteers for that day. And we brought in products, set it up, and, we hit tons of new faces.
What does your volunteer process, how does that work?
You can go to our website for that as well, DialinedDivas.com, and just say that you're interested in volunteering. That then comes to us, and our wonderful volunteer coordinator then communicates to them, lets them do sign up through Sign Up Genius, where they pick when we need volunteers for a lot, not just our pantry days, but stocking. We need administrative help so people can volunteer in that capacity. If they can't stand and walk people through pantries and stock shelves, there's administrative tasks they can help us with as well.
Do you need anyone with OCD to do OCD things?
Yes.
Yes.
You can come totally volunteer and help stock, help do inventory.
Get your OCD groove on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come over to Dotted
just think
Line
something
Divas.
as simple as going through tons of bottles of shampoo and marking out barcodes.
Huh.
We need manpower for that.
Yeah, that takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And they have to be sorted and put back on the shelves in the exact order.
Yep, you're exactly right. And many hands make light work.
There you go.
So, and probably the biggest volunteer capacity we need right now are board members. We are looking for new board members. We are actually going through a season of changing, that time of year where some fall off, you keep some. So this is the time of year where we're looking for new board members. And that's a huge commitment. So we want some fresh new perspective, but we want someone that's or individuals. We have about 3 open positions that are going to be committed. So if anyone's interested in being a board member, I will tell you that we are probably the most laid back, fun group. We do a lot more giggling in our board meetings than we do. But it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun.
How did you get involved in this, Miss
Yeah.
Fanciness? Because most people know you from MasterChef.
I know, but
So if you could tell Gordon, is Gordon watching?
hey, Gordon,
Hello, Gordon
would
Ramsay.
you like to call me back to MasterChef, please? I mean, I know I'm going on the cruise in November, but what happens after November, boo?
She's been there from day one.
Yeah, so Christina and I became friends about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And because we both attend the same church, Mercy Road Church, and I lead a team, our hospitality team, which has to do with coffee and donuts, food. So I lead that team, and I kind of recruited Christina to be on my team, and we worked together, got to know each other, and I don't know, she kind of sucked me in, I guess. That's the best way to
Because you're
describe
bossy.
it. I am.
I needed somebody that would get my team going and tell me what to do and
a little
stay
bit
on
more
track.
direct and assertive than
Yes.
A lady
Christina.
boss? Is that you're a lady
Yeah,
boss?
I'm
Yeah.
totally a lady boss. Yeah, one thing led to another, and really it was kind of helping her with a lot of that administrative stuff. And next thing you know, she's forming a board, and she's like, will you be my president? And I'm like, absolutely not. I will be your vice president.
Yep.
So that's kind of what happened. And it's just really cool to watch Christina and just know her story. And I was just telling someone at church on Sunday, like, to know the details of her story, and not everyone does. I mean, she's one of my best friends, so obviously I know a lot of the details, but to know the details of her story and to see where she's gone from just 4 years till now, like, who doesn't want to stick around and watch that continue to grow and blossom, and who doesn't want to be a part of someone who struggles themselves helping other people struggle? Like, what is that? How often do you hear people do that?
That's authentic caring.
Yeah.
And this is what we're striving to showcase here on Edge of Indy. So thank you so much for sharing the story.
Yeah.
We want to be able to inspire more people
Yes.
to do just that, right? So if they can join the band of merry coupon cutters, right? You can just imagine like a fleet of people just walking into the doors of Kroger, and I mean the face that the teller is going to have, as you come in, saving hundreds and thousands of dollars, right?
Especially when they have to scan all those coupons.
Yeah.
My biggest was 882 products and 882 coupons that they paid me to walk out with.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
It took us 2 hours from start to finish.
Well, that's not too bad.
2 pallet jacks full of stuff.
That's about what I spend at Target on a regular day.
Right?
So,
No big deal.
All that in shampoo, huh?
I don't know.
No.
Not at Target. It's all the things.
It's all the things.
All
at
the
Target.
things.
yeah.
Yep.
So go check out dottedlinedivas.com, and you can also check them out on Twitter at Dotted Line Divas, on Facebook, Dotted Line Divas.
Yep.
Excellent. And Instagram, Dotted Line Divas. We've
Good
got-
branding, guys.
We've got
Good
good
job.
consistency
Right?
there.
Good job.
Is there anything else that we can help you with today? How can we help you as an organization?
You can go to our website and find out how to help volunteer, donate, become a sponsor. I mean, we're always looking for financial contributions because we have to be able to buy product. One unique thing that we offer that I don't want to forget to mention is not only do we help families in need, but people like ourselves that can afford this stuff can come in and shop. And I put that in quotations because you're not actually buying anything at retail price. What you're doing is getting stuff at a significant discount. I'm talking toothpaste, name brand toothpaste for 50 cents. Or a suggested donation. So I can't tell you the last time I've bought toilet paper, toothpaste, laundry soap, shower gel at regular price. I go into the pantry, I get what I need, I make a donation, and
That's
then that
awesome.
donation
That's
is letting Christina coupon more.
That's like super smart.
Yeah.
You ladies are the best.
Thanks.
The best energy. I love it.
Aw,
Thank
thanks.
you.
I'm going to come organize your stuff.
Yes, please do.
We have a lot of stocking to do because my shelves are empty right now.
Yeah,
So,
we had such
All right.
a great pantry day.
yes, we had a good pantry day. So
Fantastic.
I have lots more shopping to
And when
go
is the
do.
next pantry day?
The third Saturday of each month is
Okay.
pantry day. Second Saturday of each month is coupon class and stocking days.
Okay.
Woohoo.
I'll see you soon.
All right, so go to a coupon class, help out. I mean, there's so much that you can do
go
for this organization. Go
shopping.
shopping,
Yeah.
organize, whatever that OCD thing is. I mean, there's now an environment where you can channel your efforts.
There's one more thing. Can I mention it really,
No,
really
you're done.
quick?
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am. Go on.
For those of you that shop at Kroger, you can
Yes.
actually go online and register your Kroger card,
Ooh.
the card that you zap every time you go shopping to support Dotted Line Divas. That's all you have to do. And then just go shopping like you normally do at Kroger. And because you registered it, a portion of Kroger's whatever goes to us.
That's
so
awesome.
That's
Yes.
all you have to do is just go online,
And go-
choose Dotted Line Divas,
And go about your business.
and then
Yep.
do your regular shopping.
That's awesome. Way
How
to make it
easy.
easy for people. Like there's no
Yeah.
excuse not to do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
You don't really have to
Because
do
you're
anything.
shopping anyways, and Kroger wants to give any nonprofit can sign up to do this. So, I mean, why
Why
not?
not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
That's like money just being thrown
Free
away.
mo-
They want
free
to give
money.
money. So, yeah, I love Kroger.
Love it.
Well, fantastic, ladies. You ladies are doing a fantastic job, and I commend you. And thanks so much for being kind of emblematic of organizations. This is bootstrap, and this is not coming in with huge organization bureaucracy. This is somebody doing the right thing,
Right.
and having a lot of like-minded people coming around and really making something out of caring.
That's
So
exactly it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, make sure you're sharing, and sharing is caring whenever it comes down to getting the word out about Dotted Line Divas. Coming up, we're going to be talking to the wild and wacky Paul Poteet and find out what's going on the weather front. Coming up right after this.
Real life, real stories. Let's see what's trending in Indianapolis. This is Paul Poteet on The Edge.
Would you like me to recreate the solar eclipse now on the edge of Indy?
Sure.
Ready?
How would you
Stand
do
by. Beautiful, wasn't it?
That's all it is, huh?
Now faster. Yeah, holy Corona. And that's what I have off here to my side, a couple of Coronas. And
Wow.
so that's why I'm
See,
bouncing around.
we've got to really interview these guest speakers that come on here and know what the heck we're getting into.
There needs to be a screening process. Yeah, there needs to be a screening process. That hasn't happened.
So the eclipse happened, and we're still around. So there's no
And we're
apocalyptic.
fine.
Did you two not plan anything for the rest of the show because of that for this week? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We had no plan. We thought it was going to be over, right? So any interesting tidbits from just the experience of the eclipse? Some people were underwhelmed, obviously.
Yeah, it looked, I guess, well, what I thought it would look like. We kind of lucked out, where I am. It rained probably about, right on the tail end of totality. All of a sudden it got dark anyway because we had a thunderstorm around. So, but there's some really cool, like satellite views of it. You can see on the visible satellite shots, you can actually see, the darkening across the country. It's interesting, / creepy and kind of awe-inspiring. Kind of like this segment that we do every week where we, troll the internet.
Is it awe-inspiring or creepy or both?
All of
Why,
those things.
that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of everything.
Wow.
I mean, how else are you going to find, carrots with things around them, dogs, finding
my Lord.
heroin and live geckos crawling out of your ear.
Okay,
huh?
so you've got to warn the audience before you actually just lay all that out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot on our plate today.
Yikes. All right. Hit us, man. We're ready for it. Let's go.
Everybody loves the gecko. It's a friendly commercial spokesman. It's so cute with that little accent and everything, and it saves you money on car insurance. But then you wake up from a nap, and you're a guy in China, and you've fallen off to sleep. You wake up, and you've got this itching, and let me warn you, this gets intense. The guy says that he, quote, felt something squirming inside of his head. And guess what? He decided to go to the hospital, and that little something inside of his head, that little voice, as it were,
was not whispering 15% off your car insurance. That's progressive.
Doctor,
Sorry.
I'm hearing this commercial over and over in my head. It was a gecko. It was supposedly a live, as you see there, the probably unnecessary adjective, horrified patient has a live gecko removed from his ear. And there's sort of a spoiler alert in the headline. Medics have no idea where the animal's tail is.
No.
The doctor who did it said that he shined a light into the ear. Well, where else? So tell me where it hurts. You could just start in my ear.
Oh, my Lord.
Shined a light into the ear as he grabbed at the gecko with a pair of tweezers. He said, quote, again, cringe alert, the animal was facing inwards, and when I touched it, it suddenly squirmed. The doctor used a sedative to calm the gecko down. Isn't that a phrase that the kids use these days?
Did they sedate
If you want to be cool, yeah.
Did they sedate the guy too?
I know. It'd
Let's
be
not
like,
worry about
me
the gecko.
first. Me over here.
sedate the gecko.
You got to
Calm
sedate
that gecko down.
Hey, calm the gecko down.
It could be a
dude,
tagline.
Okay. So they calmed him down, and so, but that was probably a very good thing on the doctor's part. It's like, you give the airbag that drops in the airplane, you put it on your kids first, worry about yourself later. Get the gecko settled down first. And so they were able to pull it to safety. It appeared to be missing a tail, as you see there.
No.
Next to the tweezers, appeared to be missing a tail, which doctors have been unable to find in the man's ear. Now, we like to give you news you can use, and you'll be happy to know that Dr. Tu says that if it should ever happen to you, you should scream and just run around the block. Or his advice, you should relax and drip vegetable oil into the ear to calm any unwanted invader down. It seems like that would just pee him off a little bit more to me. But
Put some beer in there instead.
Yeah, right. Vegetable oil will calm in case you wake up sometime and you feel something crawling around in your head.
Don't take naps in China.
There's the lesson to be learned right there.
Or if it's like, when you're when you're holidaying with the cannibals and just sleep with one eye open at all times.
And both ears closed.
And both ears closed. Exactly. Wow. Thank you for putting the exclamation point on that one. Okay. Well, there you go. This one is this one's not as creepy, but it's just kind of bizarre. This 84-year-old woman in Canada, she lost her wedding ring many years ago. Let's see. It was 2004. She lost her engagement ring. She thought it was gone forever. She was weeding, apparently. She was pulling weeds at her family farm in Alberta, Canada. So that, she lost track of it while she was weeding. 13 years later, her daughter-in-law is pulling carrots in the garden, pulling out the carrots. And all of a sudden pulls out something that looks a little something like what we're about to show you. Do you think this makes me look fat?
It looks like a belt.
Yeah, right. It's like you've been wearing, like that ring looked good on a baby carrot, but not so much on you. And it's her ring.
How does that happen?
It grows inside of it. So
yeah, it just landed at apparently just the right place, and so
it's got 2 little feet. Look at that.
Look at that.
It looks very weird.
And it's so sad though that it said her husband isn't around anymore, but she's still excited to find the engagement ring again. She said, "I'm going to wear it because it still fits." You would think, yeah, that maybe at some point that like maybe the carrot would have stretched the ring or what.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know what she could have done? She could have drawn a face on the carrot to make it look like him. Just saying.
Okay.
You could.
And then take it out to restaurants so they could have little dinner dates and whatever. This is my husband, Bugs.
There's Mrs. Grams with her husband.
Really? And then she should take it to the jeweler to find out how many carats it really
is. You got it. Oh, you beat me to it. I was wondering. All right.
Not always original, but always fast. That's
that was good. All right.
That's my corporate goal. One more story involving, would you like something else that somebody dug up?
Yes.
Or dug out.
Or dug out. Golden Retriever's owners thought their dog had found a time capsule in the backyard. Isn't that fun?
Oh, absolutely. Those are always great.
That's always my first thought. That could be a time capsule.
They're digging around, and he starts to uncover. He's unburying this this container, I guess. And Kenyon, the dog, 18 months old, puppies, still pretty much at that point, golden retrievers. His owners found a package underground. They thought it was a time package or a time capsule, so they started to run the video. Oh, this will be fun. Well, soon after they opened the package, they realized it was a time capsule, not so much, and more a type of drug. I guess they weren't sure what type of drug, but this lovable little golden retriever. I love golden retrievers.
Little boo-boo. Look at him.
Kenyon is the dog's name. And Kenyon's digging recovered over 15 ounces of black tar heroin.
Naturally.
Now, I have to confess, I didn't know there were different types of heroin. Oh, black tar heroin. That's, it's like they have the different Johnny Walker, flavors. Well, apparently black tar heroin is worth a lot of money, $85,000 worth of heroin that Kenyon. And did he get a reward? No, he got no cash out of that. But
wait, that's black tar heroin?
On the right. The capsule's on the left.
Okay.
Not that I know anything about this at all.
Welcome to Edge of Indy with Walter White is our guest host this week.
The producers are cackling right now.
Oh no, that's the black tar heroin is over there.
Observations would say that's a.
Those aren't the producers laughing. Those are the cops laughing.
Brittany, let's call the authorities right now. Okay. We're all going to be brought down with them, okay?
The building is surrounded right now, right?
Yes, the building is surrounded.
Okay.
The dog didn't get any money, but he is now an official canine. He's an honorary narcotics canine for life.
Yeah.
Good dog.
Which I think is kind of cute. And they gave him a ribbon. There you go. Isn't that cute?
That is a heck of a retriever. I'm just wondering if somebody's going to offer up some offers to buy the dog back, and who the heck would that be? I mean, they would be interested in getting him on board their. Never mind.
And is there anything else? I mean, in that backyard. I mean, if that's, is that it? I mean,
all of a sudden, Kenyon's digging holes everywhere,
Finding all the things.
He's a happy dog.
He needs to go out to New Mexico because, as I say, Walter White. I don't know how many Breaking Bad viewers we have out there. He's, did we really see all of those barrels of cash, taken care of in that last episode or not? Yeah, I still wonder. Anyway, those are some of the freaky, fun things that we found on the web.
There
this
was
week.
a theme here. I mean, literally, just digging weird crap out of so many different places.
Yeah, because you're digging the gecko out of the. There's something in my ear. Oh, wait, it's you guys. Hang on.
That's creepy in its own way.
Yeah, there are people digging things out of their ear. And then 2 cases of digging things out of the ground. Very good. You found the common theme.
Absolutely. Each show we have a particular theme. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, and then we serve it with a little weather garnish at the end. So
all right, hit us
please
with
enjoy.
What you've dug up in
forecasting.
In forecasting,
man.
Yeah,
I have to give you the honorary bell again today.
I'm tapped out. All right.
Well, sit back, relax, enjoy a little 7-day action here. It looks beautiful again, and we're back to where we were at remember the beginning of August.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's back to that again. Lots of sunshine, very little humidity. The next thing, and then you're asking yourself, well, why couldn't it have been like this for the eclipse? Yeah, I know. Welcome to Indiana. But the next thing is maybe the remnants of that tropical system Harvey, which is threatening Texas over the weekend. Some of that could get absorbed into the upper levels of the atmosphere. So we'll probably end up with more clouds and maybe some showers later Monday and into Tuesday of next week if you're looking for rain. But otherwise, it's going to be a beautiful weekend in Indianapolis. They said the state fair attendance I read the other day was up 25%. From last year, and the story was, I don't know if where I read it from, but it was or didn't comment as to whether it was the weather or the attractions. Well, let me tell you, right, that weather was amazing, for the run of the fair this year. So I'm sure that had a part to play.
Absolutely. Well, it's a great forecast. No unforeseen eclipses coming up in our near future, right?
No, nothing that if I dig something up, I'll let you know. How about that?
See, he doubled down there. Yeah, we're in the same groove.
You are.
I feel it.
Dad jokes among us. I mean,
all the dads.
In the meantime, now I'm going to make sure. Yeah, it's still on my finger. Okay, just checking.
Actually, all right. I'm gonna go a little bit more on this segment. I didn't tell you this before regarding the engagement ring, right, or the wedding ring. I actually was up in Minnesota in the upper areas where all the lakes are, and I was in a waterfall with my son. We were a scout trip up there.
Oh, no.
And I pulled my hands out as we're at the waterfall, and I'm missing my wedding ring.
No.
It literally is off my finger. And my wife told me, you better leave your rings at home.
That's what we do, is tell you all the right things.
And
that's the first thing you think of is in your mind, a little bubble with your wife.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I dug through, and I went through that waterfall. I mean, it's like a 3-story waterfall. And my brother-in-law actually recorded the entire thing on GoPro just to document how earnest and panicked I was, because he had no faith that I was going to find this thing. I was like a raccoon trying to find everything in the last attempt before he just gave up. I found
we did cut him off
in a corner. I mean, this is a torrent of a waterfall. I found it in a corner of a rock. Pull it up, scream to high heaven, and then subsequently put it in a plastic bag for my brother-in-law to hold on to for the rest of the trip.
Does your wife know?
And then you swore your son secrecy. Hey, this is one of the things that we don't tell Mom.
Yeah, and we're broadcasting it. All right. No, she knew. And
I hope you've told her at some point, because it's, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but their cameras on,
No, it was excruciatingly summer moment as I brought it to her. Like, this is what happened. And you were right.
Yes.
Those 3 little words that women love to hear.
Yep.
Every time, it never gets old.
No, it doesn't. Well, sorry for the embellishment there, but that rung my bell whenever I was looking.
Oh my gosh, that had to be. Talk about your lows and highs all in the space of a couple of minutes.
Next time, you should put it around a carrot and just put the carrot down.
You should always, Aaron, you should always carry a carrot with you.
Can I get a bell for that?
Give her a bell. All right.
What's that you were packing? Oh, don't be alarmed. That's just the carrot that I bring
It's
with
my
me at all
ring
times.
carrot. Don't worry.
All right. My ring carrot. Okay. This I got to call it. All right. Hey, thanks so much, Paul. We're going to be digging up a heck of a lot of carrot jokes here for the next week. So
You betcha.
we'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
All right. Hey, coming up, we're going to be joined by some very special guests from Indie Women in Tech. You don't want to miss this. Coming up right after this.
This is Edge of Indy, showcasing Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Now, let's get back to today's topic.
Okay, hey, we're back, and you know what? That was a fantastic story about my lost ring, but I got to tell you, we got an even better story today. It's about Indie Women in Tech, and I want to introduce some great new people that we've just been introduced to. We have Karen Megan, Director Chair of Indie Women in Tech and Senior Vice President at the Guggenheim Life and Annuity Company. How are you doing?
Hi, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. And we also have Mayor Greg Ballard, Director at Indie Women Tech. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, very welcome. And I tell you, we're so honored to be joined by such an elite and amazing group of leaders in Indianapolis. Mayor Ballard, thank you so much for joining us on The Edge. Let's start with Indie Women in Tech and what it's all about. What's your mission and what are you up to here in Indy?
Well, we're doing a lot here. We're just over a year old, but we really moved the ball, I think, significantly. We wanted to really engender interest in the STEM fields for young girls. We're doing that quite a bit, and I'll tell you how we're doing that in just a second. But also, we want to provide training for women in transition, people, maybe stay-at-home moms, people who want to change their careers, providing opportunities for them to go to get into the tech fields, and we're doing that also. We're helping them get through that. And so a lot of the initiatives that we've done so far, we were the main sponsor of the statewide robotics initiative. So we've affected, I give an example of the impact that we've had. A couple years ago, there were about 70 elementary schools doing robotics in their schools. With 1 year, with Guggenheim's help, over 500 in 1 year.
Wow.
And we will increase that by another probably 300 to 400 this year. So Indiana really is becoming the robotics kind of capital of the nation. And so that's one thing. The STEM Day for middle school girls that we just completed at the University of Indianapolis. We did that with Women in High Tech in Conner Prairie. Following what they do at the Passport to High Tech, which they do every year. We did it at UIndy this year. Did 600 middle school girls from IPS and Warren schools. Very big success. And we're also partnering in the career transition piece, partnering with Ivy Tech and John Qualls out at the 1150 Coding Academy, and putting women through these sorts of courses so they have the skill set and even the soft skills. They train them in those sorts of things also to put them into tech careers. So there's a lot going on, not to mention a tournament that's coming up here in a couple of weeks too. So, I mean, there's a lot of activity in that regard. But we've been very conscientious to partner with a lot of different people like Tech Point Foundation for Youth, Ivy Tech, and 1150, and so many other people that we really do partner with.
Yeah, there's a great number of Indianapolis organizations that are dedicated to inspiring science and engineering with youth, and you mentioned a number of them that are steadfastly focused on growing the visibility and the career paths that are so desperately needed.
Yeah, we certainly do need to keep them on that path, and I tell people it's the right thing to do, but it's also a workforce issue. We need more women in tech to fill the jobs of the future.
Absolutely. No, I agree. What does that process look like? So if there's a woman who, let's say she is in one career right now and she wants to make that transition, how does getting involved with this organization, what's that process look
Karen,
like?
you may take that
actually, yes, we would love for them to come to our website. It's indywit.com. There's an application available to fill out so that they can start into our process. It can be somebody that's a stay-at-home mom wanting to re-enter the career, or it could be somebody wanting to career up as far as maybe in a career right now and they want to go into the tech, or they may need some financial support to get into the educational which we have partners with 1150 as well as Ivy Tech. We currently have a cohort. Right now at 1150, we have 7 young women going through the program. They'll be graduating here in the next week. We also have a new cohort that is at Ivy Tech, 17 women that will be starting the program here in the next week. So they can reach out to our officers at the Indy Women in Tech via our website or our email.
Great.
There's so much. You work with so many of these amazing partners. How do these partners come to be? Because, I mean, they can all do their own thing. They can focus in their own areas. But, I mean, getting them all together, that's a bit of a challenge.
I was able to help with that a little bit.
You know a few people.
I know a couple people here and there, and we were very conscientious about creating partnerships. We didn't want to recreate the wheel, but we wanted to help people who were doing good work and maybe do something different, which is the career transition piece. I think is rather revolutionary, frankly, in how we're doing it. All that said, there were robotic competition. As you know, I started it in the city. It became a big deal in the city. The state kind of said, "Hey, let's look at that." And then I was able, they gave it to Tech Point Foundation for Youth to run it, but they also told them go search for money. I was able to kind of put some pieces together. I knew Laura over there, Laura Dodds, wonderful lady doing great work. And so, we were able to kind of make that connection. John Qualls, who runs 1150, is a former jarhead, just like I am, right? So we kind of had a connection. I knew a little bit about him. He knew a little bit about me. I have connections at Ivy Tech. I knew Sue Ellsperman pretty well, and we didn't talk to her about this first time, and it kind of rolled from there. So we were able to kind of make those connections because we're kind of a funding mechanism. But what also we provide child care and transportation needs and things like that. We help so that women can go through these courses, and again, that's partners too, mentoring partners, transportation partners, people that we're trying to make it so they can get through these courses. And I think I just know some people that can help us in that regard. But now we're at the point where people are coming to us, right, Karen?
Right.
People are coming to us right now and want to partner with us because they know what we're doing.
And it sometimes does need that type of momentum to get going, and then the wake that you're leaving behind will certainly bring a lot of other organizations alert to what's happening and be able to jump on that bandwagon. That's fantastic.
Your team recently had the Ignite Your Superpower STEM Day. Can you tell us about that? Because it sounds incredible.
Oh, absolutely. It turned out to be a huge success. We had 600 middle school students, as Greg mentioned, from Warren Township as well as IPS. We had 60 exhibitors for the girls to have a hands-on experience, and we actually had about 300 volunteers that came in to be the superheroes. Each of the girls were in groups of 5 with a superhero, and they were so engaged to all of the different exhibits that were hands-on experiences, and they really enjoyed it, and it ended up being a huge success, and we're looking forward to having even a bigger STEM Day next year.
Bigger than 600 middle school girls. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's intense.
It was incredible. It was very orderly.
Scary
though.
could be another word for it.
Yeah, you'd think so, but actually it was very orderly, and we had Pippa Mann there along with Sarah Fisher
cool.
just to kick it off. So it was pretty neat.
Well, we had a friend in Sarah Fisher. That's fantastic. And for those of you that don't know what STEM is, I wanted to pull back a second, and it is certainly getting more and more popular, but STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Right.
And there are programs that we're seeing starting to rise all across the state and the country. And there is such a level of adoption or how would I say new growth in this space that it's great to be able to see this type of amplification happening. But we're seeing that it's embraced by society. People are wanting to jump in there, especially for middle school and both boys and girls. This is where you really capture that scientific methodology mindset, and you can stoke that flame, right?
I think that's absolutely true, and the numbers are pretty clear going forward. There's going to be a huge tech workforce gap in the near future, and middle school is kind of critical, critical time where people have diverse interests. A lot of people coming at them, a lot of social pressures. A lot of that stuff is going on right there, and particularly girls might want to say, "Hey, I want to go this direction, not this direction," even though they really are interested in building robots or being a rocket scientist or being a doctor or whatever it might be. So we want to make sure in particular that we capture that audience. We really think that's important for the future workforce. And plus, they can pursue their original dreams without being sidetracked.
Right. It really inspires them at that age, and it gives them a lot of encouragement.
It gives them the reality of what they could be.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
there's a pathway, and there's an entire support system to be able to do that.
Well, it opens a whole new world of things I'm sure they don't even realize it's even. I mean, when I was little, I'm 31, and when I was little, I didn't know I could build robots for a living. Like we didn't grow up knowing that you could do that, or that you could be an astronaut, or whatever the case may be. You could be a doctor. So I think it's so important we grab these girls young and let them know you can do any of this. Like go do it.
Right. The opportunities are limited.
Yeah, that was the message of that day, and because we saw there weren't a lot of men there. There were women there.
Girl power.
So they could say,
Right.
they could see that they can have this career.
Well,
path.
they were afraid of 600 middle school girls
right.
building robots.
Men knew better to come that
I
day.
mean, that is scary.
That might have been true.
We all got the memo. Steer away. Steer away. You also have another event coming up just around the corner. That is Indie Women in Tech Championship at the LPGA, right?
Right.
So what's that? What's that all about?
That's actually the week of September 4th. The tournament will actually be on the 7th, 8th, and 9th. We have 144 professional golfers that will be attending and playing, obviously. We're very excited about it. We have a summit for women on Tuesday. We have a Pro-Am outing on Wednesday, and then the tournament kicks off on that Thursday. We'll also have the Eureka, Exchange, which is going to be a hands-on STEM day once again with hands-on experiences for young girls as well. And then we'll have the Bite experience, which will be different restaurants around Indy that will be coming in and setting up. And we're excited about the whole event. Yes.
Hoping for good weather, probably.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do with golf. And our main speaker, the keynote speaker at the summit, is actually Dr. Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman in space.
Right.
So
wow.
She'll be in Indy that day.
Talk about a superhero right there.
That's somebody right there.
That's out of this world.
Oh.
You watch The Big Bang Theory. Is that right?
I do. We do.
You took one for the team. Honestly,
welcome.
I mean that was a bad dad joke, and you took it away from me.
I did it for you.
I can see that too. All right. So, Mayor Bauer, what kind of growth have you recognized in Indianapolis over the last few years? The growth of Indianapolis tech specifically.
Well, it's getting pretty obvious that I told people all the time when I was the mayor that we're not Silicon Valley, we're not Austin, we're not Boston, but right below that, we're kind of that tier, and people are starting to recognize this. A lot of people were worried when Salesforce bought ExactTarget, and they thought, what's going to happen here, right? Well, the fact is Salesforce is moving people into Indianapolis. One, they like the cost of doing business. They also know their workforce is here. And so they're bringing a lot of their functions here that might have been in San Francisco before. So they're going to be able to get the same quality work, but at a different price because everything's virtual with them anyway, right? So so it's very important to them to be able to do that. And so we're able to grow companies, and people are starting to see that this is a good place to do it. You can raise your family here. It's a nice atmosphere. Cost of living is great, but compared to the salaries, it's really a good cost of living, right?
Absolutely.
Compared to tech salaries as you go forward. And so that's why this is important to us, and we want to continue to grow those fields. I think it's really one of the disciplines. We grew up with logistics and motorsports and manufacturing and things like this, but I think IT is one of those areas that Indianapolis is really getting recognized for. I don't think we have to push it so hard right now. It's kind of happening organically, and people are starting to feel it. All that said, we're a little too humble in this regard, and we need to kind of preach a little bit here.
I hear that so often. We don't shout to the rooftops what we have here.
Right.
Everybody's so quiet, and I don't want to say docile because they're very energetic. They're very aggressive, but it just doesn't.
We're too humble.
We are too humble. Yeah. So we gotta toot our own horn regularly.
It's part of the charm that we are like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you have to do it, it's how you do it, right? It's all how you do it. And so we'll figure that piece of it out, I think, pretty well, because there are great people, great organizations like TechPoint Foundation for Youth, and so many other people that are really kind of pushing this ball forward for us.
Absolutely.
In what ways can organizations and companies get involved with Indie Women in Tech? Like, how would you like to foster more relationships or more partnerships? What are you asking for what are you asking from other companies out there? How can they help?
Well, we would definitely like sponsorship, and also as far as donations and volunteer opportunities. As far as that goes, we're still looking for other partners on the educational side. We're also looking for partners on the work placement. So we are really building a lot of partnerships out there. But there's a lot of opportunity.
And the tournament is not only bringing visibility, but the proceeds from that are designed to put more money into the foundation to put more women into tech. So that's why we really do want people to support the tournament and as much as possible, because it will literally put more women into tech with the funds.
And the LPGA is at the Brickyard Crossing, which is an unusual area for an event of an LPGA. Usually it's in a suburb.
Yeah, so we wanted it in the city.
In the city.
And again, I knew a couple of people over there.
Yeah.
And we were able to make Doug and Mark and Allison and that team are terrific. And they, when I said we want this to be an LPGA Women in Tech initiative, they were like, absolutely.
Fantastic.
They were great about it. You know, they know, like most people do, there has to be a bigger cause. You know, it's not just about the event. There's always a bigger cause here in Indianapolis. That's why our Super Bowl was so successful, right? Because there's something more than the event. And for the LPGA coming here at Brickyard Crossing, it's about something more than just the event.
Right.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how can we help in this matter? We're always about getting more women into tech. I think it's notable that, man, there's such a value with just not only fostering good path in tech, but I mean, let's face it, women are smarter.
You heard it here first.
Well, it's funny how I never hear a man say otherwise, ever.
I think my wife is watching, and that was my contribution right there.
You know, we're simple creatures,
You
right?
caught the lost wedding ring story, right?
Yes, I got that. So, but it's just, I think it's just important that we feel this. Karen feels. We all feel this pretty strongly that the girls growing up need to feel that they have the opportunity that they want to have, and are not shut off.
Right.
When I grew up, I got a little age on me. That was really not the case. Women didn't even play sports in high school.
Right.
When I was in high school, it just didn't happen. Right. So I mean, that's how far back I go, and I can remember these things. And we didn't realize it at the time, but we were really shutting them down. That's what we were doing, and we'd be doing it unconsciously, but that's what was happening at that point in time. And we're at the point now, because a lot of people plot a lot of ground, that we really have the opportunity here to make a difference.
We are women. Hear us roar.
Yes.
So we certainly want to help you out, and in any way, shape, or form, please let us know what we can do from a digital marketing standpoint or from a broadcast standpoint. If you want to get the word out more often, we would love to be able to offer our services to be able to help you in that regard.
We certainly appreciate that.
I appreciate
Wonderful.
that.
Absolutely.
And you do need to give Paul Poteet a shot. Just so you know. I've done a lot of things with him.
Yep.
We opened up an Indy Fringe together one year, which we loved. He's really funny. But whenever he is on a show with me or whatever, he's never in the studio, ever. What is that about him?
I don't know.
What is that?
Maybe he's avoiding you. Or maybe
I don't
you and
know.
Paul Poteet are the same person.
Maybe
Maybe we are.
I mean, it could be that. I think he's just like a talking head. He really never.
And I think he's a hologram.
There it is.
I saw the background. You notice all those fake computers behind him? Did you see all that?
It's on a loop.
Is it? Yes. I think so.
Well, here's how you can connect to Indy Women in Tech. You can go to the website, indywit.com. You can also follow on Twitter, Indy Women in Tech, and obviously Mayor Ballard. Facebook is Indy Women in Tech, and on Instagram, Indy Women in Tech. Again, solid,
Good
consistent
job.
branding.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. Any final thoughts regarding Indy Women in Tech and the tech scene and growth here in Indianapolis?
It is growing. I think IWIT is making a difference, and we certainly want people to come out and enjoy the tournament. I've been to lots of different tournaments in my lifetime. By far, the LPGA is the most fun for a family to come out and watch. It's just, the women are not only great golfers, but they're fun afterwards when they're done with the round. So it's great.
And I just want to mention that we did make it very family cost friendly. So it's only $17 for an adult, and the children are free to come in as well.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, fantastic. Final word here is just be careful about the robot building because it could get out of hand. I'm just saying.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And we're certainly going to lift this show and really get the word out post-show. So thanks for your time and your visitation to the studio. And Mayor Ballard, it was an honor, and I appreciate all the service that you did for the city. It's just fantastic.
Thank you. It was a great honor.
I appreciate that. All right, hey, that's a wrap here. We've got a lot to talk about here, a lot to share. So we really want to implore, hey, if you like what you see, make sure that you like us, favorite us, give us some reviews online, download the podcast, and give us some feedback. But more importantly than anything else, with the causes that you see here on the show regularly, go out, reach out to them, and ask them how you can help them. Because these are grassroots organizations. These are great initiatives that are happening in the city, and it's our obligation as citizens of the city to be able to help out. So choose local and choose local often. This is Aaron and Brittany. I'm going to speak for you. Signing off for Edge of Indy. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.